Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. So enlightened with this man's work. He's created a children's book. He's working on another one right now, and the one that we delve deep into, just a great look at nature, family values, characteristics of people, morals, doing the right thing. Just a well put together book in Jack Sprout. And he's back with us with his next project. I guess this is the next phase of Jack Sprout, this character, and he is Jack Shoop, the author, back with us. How are you today?
Hey, Chief, how you doing?
Really good.
This is the he did Beaver Creek Meadow, which you can see behind me here.
Yep.
And it's all settled and everybody's doing their routines, but he got frustrated. He wants to find out more ways of helping nature in Beaver Creek Meadow. So this is him and Captain Barry set out on the open seas. They don't know where they're going, but they ran into a land and they anchored there and they came ashore. And then a great blue heron met him, and he's going to be their guide. So I'll start from there.
And I'm going to ask you one question before you dive in. We were in the meadow in the first book.
Yeah.
Why did you gravitate toward water? What was your inspiration to go there?
Well, Beaver Creek, there's the Beaver Creek. I don't know. That's a good.
I don't know if there was a reason, or you were feeling it.
Well, I mean, I feel I've done land. I created the streams and the mountains and the woods, and I did all that stuff. So no matter where I went on land, I'd be really recreating the same kind of scenery.
Gotcha. And when you think about it, on water, so many different creatures and characters to enhance the story.
Yeah, and when people want to explore more stuff, they go out on the ocean. So here I am.
Let's explore.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So they've come out, they've bumped into this new land. They've anchored, came ashore, and I'll start out the blue heron that's met them. That's going to be their guide.
Gotcha.
And this is him starting out. So, I'm glad you two made it. We've been expecting you. So this is Jack Sprout and Captain Barry are the two explorers. So the stork goes, the blue heron goes, glad you two made it. We've been expecting you. What? We didn't even know where we were coming here. Ever since our compass broke, we haven't even known where we were. What do you mean you knew we were coming? Asked Captain Barry. Oh, there's no secrets in the universe. Everything is out there all the time. My name is Lark, you're Captain Barry, and you're Jack Sprout. You're from Beaver Creek Meadow, one of our finest accomplishments, if I do say so myself. Where in the world are we? What's the name of this place? What do we do here? How do you know us? Will we make it back to Beaver Creek Meadow? Asked Captain. Take it easy, said Lark. Sit down on that driftwood and listen. I'm the guide here. I'll tell you what I can. You'll never know everything, but that's the fun in living, right? We are the center of the universe. We just call this place the center. We watch how nature is born, help it when we can, and spread our knowledge with the rest of the planet. The seabirds told us you were coming. I know the beavers started Beaver Creek Meadow, but we've helped a lot too. Your community is one of the best on the planet. You work together with nature well, and things are going great. There's a lot of things you'll need to know on the horizon, but I'll tell you about them before you go back. We're proud of what you've accomplished there. We use you as an example for other communities. Keep up the good work. When a cormorant saw you in the open waters, I knew you would come this way. When any vessel comes close to the center, their compasses are knocked out by extreme airwaves. This helps to keep us hidden from the bad guy. Don't worry, the North Pole is still there. All sea currents meet here also, so we know what's going on in other parts of the planet. All sorts of stuff washes up on our shores, and we meet lots of world adventurers like you. I take it you want to learn more about nature, so if that answers your questions for now, I'll show you around and explain all I can. You'll take the knowledge from here back to your home and spread the word. We're in, we're ready, we shouted. It's time for your adventure to take a step up a notch. We'll go over the center and discover both the good and bad things happening today. I'll show you ways to protect and beautify Beaver Creek Meadow. You think you're doing good now? Just wait until I get through with you. That didn't scare us. Captain Barry and I loved a good challenge. We've been exploring, discovering ways of doing different things, and taking care of ourselves for a long time. Off we went into nature's center of the universe. Let's start by taking a look into the center of our planet, suggested Lark. That's where the fire starts. We climbed 2,000 feet up the side of a volcano and to find a lava tube so we could enter the volcano. When lava flows through a volcano, the top layer cools first. The super hot lava keeps flowing underneath, but when it stops flowing, a big open tunnel is left. It's called a lava tube, and it's usually long and tall enough to walk through. As we entered the lava tube, it was dark, of course, but there were torches along the way. It wasn't hard to find the fire from the light from the fire either. We traveled along the lava tube for about a mile. It sure was hot, but gusts of wind escaping past us to the lava tube created some comfort. The heat didn't bother us, but the sounds coming out were, let's say, unnerving. They weren't really screams or moans, but chants or talking. The center of the planet must have had or has its own community. We were sure that Lark heard it too, but he never mentioned it. We figured it was none of our concern, and if you don't need to know, don't ask. As we got closer to a drop-off point, Lark tied vine ropes around our waists and shoulders so we wouldn't fall over the edge and burn up. Securely tied, we peeked over and down into the center of the planet. Fire, fire everywhere. Loud, crackling, spitting, roaring, yellow, red, and blue fire. Rocks were melting as more rocks tumbled in to meet their fate. Believe it or not, this is where land is made, shouted Lark. Eventually, this molten rock will rise to the surface someday, spill out of the top, and create more land. The rock is rich in minerals necessary for plant growth. Fire changes everything it touches, mostly for the better, as I said on the beach, except for the heartache. You don't have this scene in Beaver Creek Meadow. High Mountain Harry should be aware of it, though. He should teach about this process. Instead of him being mad at those who come to see him, like he always is, he should tell his visitors about the center of the planet. Since he digs around for minerals to help your community, he should find out where they come from. He could dig down tunnels down further than his regular ones, and who knows what he might find. That'll help nature, right? We need to calm High Mountain Harry down and make him a happy mountain goat. You can tell him Lark said so. No one likes to anger me because they know what I can do. Don't tell him I'm a good guy. I'll keep him guessing until he softens up. Thanks for the lesson, Lark. We're finally starting to learn more about nature and even how it's made. Our adventure is already paying off. We'll tell High Mountain Harry the news. It'll be fun to watch him squirm. But let's get out of here, okay? Sure, you two are pretty brave. Most of the time, this tour ends with crying and fainting. This can be a scary place unless you're really interested in nature. Being concerned for something other than yourself is a good way to live. Follow me closely. One bad step, and you might get melted, said Lark. Tour guides who try to be funny aren't always funny. On our way out of the lava tube, Captain Barry and I noticed some body and head armor, shields, spears, clubs, neatly arranged near the center. We wondered what they were for, but if you don't need to know, don't ask. Once out of the lava tube, we hiked down the volcano and headed over to the shoreline. It was time to cool off and learn about water, waves, and shoreline. Now here we are next to all this water, and we just came from fire, said Lark. You can see how even I'm amazed the two don't come together. That'd be an explosion for sure. Nature knows what it's doing. I'll just leave it at that. Now that you're at the shoreline, do yourself a favor and don't turn your back on the water. You can get washed away and never be heard from again. That's one thing we're told as youngsters over and over again. Don't turn your back on the water. Where do I start? The first thing we notice at the shore are the waves. There are shore break waves and reef break waves. You can ride them or get sucked under them, up to you. The wind creates most waves by moving across the water's surface. Surfers love a good storm with high winds out at sea, which creates a huge surf here near the shoreline. The gravitational pull of the water by the sun and moon also creates waves. They cause what are called tides. There are high tides, which makes the water come up the beach, and low tides, when the water goes away from the shore. Both high tides and low tides are caused by and driven by the sun and the moon. Oliver Otter does a great job for Beaver Creek Meadow, watching for high tides, rogue waves, and storms. Helping save those who get in trouble near your shoreline is what he does best. He should get a better warning system, though. More neighbors need to know about the high waves than just those live near the shore. Maybe you can help him with that. Once again, we should get High Mountain Harry involved. If Oliver can let him know somehow that high waves or storms are coming off the water, he could send out a signal from his high mountain home. He could make a signal to be seen all the way to Coloco Bayou and Pete Jagger's Desert. We're going to make that old goat popular. You just wait and see. We are starting to learn how to use waves as power, too. When you go back, you want to tell Oliver Otter to meet with Pierre Latrue and figure out how to make, use, and send power using waves. We have some ideas already and are experimenting with floats, wheels, tubes, and stuff like that. We're not there yet, but you have to start somewhere. That Pierre Latrue is one smart red fox. He's always wanted to make things better and safer for your part of nature. But the poor guy needs a break once in a while to take his wife Dee on a vacation. She loves vacation. Pierre Latrue learns more about other parts of the planet on vacations too. Besides, communities like Beaver Creek Meadow can't depend on only one source of power. Every community needs several sources of power to be controlled by different neighbors. I'll bet he's already thinking of wave power. His paddle power creates waves now by spinning in Beaver Creek. Tell him you met me and we can work together. Maybe he can vacation out here sometimes. You can let him use one of your mini boats. How do you know so much about our part of nature? Questioned Captain Barry. Oh, that's right, the birds. Hey, Jack Sparrow, we're going to have a meeting at Beaver Creek Dock with all those noisy birds in Beaver Creek Meadow. They're giving away all of our secrets. Easy, Captain Barry, said Lark. We don't want any secrets in nature, only questions. You already have a lot to show and tell when you get back to your home. We've only talked about fire, water, wind and air, and soil. You two head back to your cabin, cruiser, and I'll see you in the morning. Wear some high leggings tomorrow, so we'll be searching the brush for more questions. Usually I camp out all night on this part of the tour, and it's a struggle. I get tired. I have long legs because I'm a shorebird and walking through the water a lot. These legs aren't meant to go bustling through the brush and tripping over falling log. Good night, you two. I hope the boat rocks you to sleep. Of course, we couldn't get right to sleep after paddling the canoe out and tying it up on the side of the cruiser. We had learned and seen too much. It was only day one. We ate and drank something to restore energy, then talked way too long. I said how amazing it was to be sitting on top of a planet of fire. I never would have imagined that. Captain Barry wondered why the water didn't put it out. We love the lava tube and look into the soul of nature. We both mentioned the armor and stuff, tube and by the tube's entrance, but didn't want to talk about it too much. We really didn't want to know. We were excited to tell High Mountain Harry about the center of the planet. We weren't too sure how he enjoyed digging more tunnels, but maybe he could find someone to help. Getting Harry more involved with the community would be good for him. He seemed crusty, but to those he liked, knew he was just a softy at heart. Working for nature and a community makes one that way. We knew Pierre Latrue would take his new job as a challenge. He's always happy to be the first one to invent new ways of doing things. He'd help Oliver Otter with his job of getting power from the waves. We wondered what type of warning system he would invent with High Mountain Harry. I bet it'd have a whistle or something. Now, we all know Oliver Otter likes to lay around a lot, but his new jobs should be something he might enjoy. Making wave power and creating new alert systems could be fun, and Oliver likes to have fun when he works. Captain Barry couldn't wait for a brush and camp trip to start the next day. This is what he loved most, camping. I like walking through the brush and woods, so it'd be a good day. Just do me one favor, I asked. Sure thing, asked Captain Barry. What do you want me to do? It's what I don't want you to do, I said. Okay, what do you not want me to do? He said. You know that ghost story you always tell groups you take on camping trips in the Northeast Forest? Yeah, I asked. Yeah, I know the one. It works every time, giggled Captain Barry. Well, don't tell it, I shouted. Lark has been nice to us, and we need him to keep showing us how to help nature. You'll scare him off, and he won't help us anymore. Jeepers. That's a big favor, Jack Sprout. I'll see what I can do for you. We didn't doze off until the moon was on the horizon, headed for the next day. The boat did rock us to sleep, and we didn't wake up until the morning sun came blaring in on us. The sun's bright reflection off the waves is a harsh way to meet the day. Good morning, adventure cruiser, shouted Lark from the shore. You look bright and bushy today. Let's get started while it's still cool. We rowed ashore and were ready to learn more about nature. Today's lesson, began Lark, is about the brush area that forms between the sandy shores and the dunes and the grasslands leading into the prairie. These dunes are formed onshore by onshore winds blowing the sand up the beach. Can you tell me what good they do for nature? He asked. It looks like it'd be fun sliding down them, suggested Captain Barry. I said that they'd make a safe home for crabs. That's good. You're both right, said Lark. We do have sand sliding races in the fall, and the sand crabs do live near the edge of them. But the main thing sands do is protect the inland from waves. Storm waves can be very high and wash away any life that gets in its way. The sand dunes stop the waves and protect us. Nature knows how to adapt to help itself. Pretty cool, right? Well, how does it know when to do that? We both asked. It does it naturally, laughed the great blue heron. Let's walk further inland into the desert. Be careful of the cactus, they'll scratch you every time. We went
You
through
know,
the.
at that point, we're just about out of time
Okay.
for this session. I have to tell you, Jack, I love, love, love the lessons. First of all, the tide and how it's governed by the moon and the sun. Even the sand dunes, even the cactus. Like there's so many little nuggets of knowledge within your writing. Just fantastic books. Like this is, and I've said this before. Even and what we're hearing today is the work in progress. Hasn't been published, hasn't even been officially edited, and all of that. And it's I guess a spinoff of Jack Sprout and Beaver Creek Meadow. But the same thing is there. Those lessons, that information, the insight about animals, how they interact together, same way as people do in this book. Just really great stuff. You must enjoy writing. It seems
Yeah,
so.
it's fun, and it's like this story I'm writing is all lessons. Yeah, there's not very many interact. Well, when they go back to Beaver Creek, there's a lot of interaction, but they're there to learn more about nature, so it's going to be a lot of lessons. And it's nothing. There's no rocket science here. It's just nature and common sense. But I did look a few things up now and then.
Sure. But even the way you present the book, where sometimes there's a question, where just it's not all just somebody shouting at you in terms of the narrative. It kind of makes it pulls the reader in this case, the listener, so that we kind of think, we process it, which is what I think we need for our kids. If you want to check it out, the first book, jacksprout.com, it's there. There's also a video program that goes with that. There's a CD of music as well. Just great stuff. Parents, educators, librarians, like just really good stuff. And I appreciate you sharing that with us again today.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, and we'll start off next time in the sand dunes.
We have a mission.
Okay, yeah.
Forward. Thanks a lot.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.